The following messages from heaven by the Blessed Virgin Mary are all of the secret messages of Fatima, and an extract of Our Lady of La Salette's message, because the Third Secret of Fatima says that the chastisement prophesied in La Salette will be fulfilled. The entire Third Secret of Fatima that originally was to be revealed in 1960 was only partly revealed by the Vatican in 2000. The following has that part which was withheld and omitted from that secret by the Vatican. This is the Complete Secret of Fatima, all 3 parts, as given to Sister Lucy, who was one of the visionaries of Our Lady of Fatima in 1917. This is the first and second part of the Secret of Our Lady of Fatima. This version was presented by Sister Lucia in her 3rd memoir of August 31, 1941 for the Bishop of Leiria Fatima. Sister Lucy writes, "This will entail my speaking about the secret, and thus answering the first question. What is the secret? It seems to me that I can reveal it, since I already have permission from heaven to do so. God's representatives on earth have authorized me to do this several times and in various letters, one of which, I believe, is in your keeping. This letter is from Father José Bernardo Goncalves, and in it he advises me to write to the Holy Father, suggesting, among other things, that I should reveal the secret. I did say something about it. But in order not to make my letter too long, since I was told to keep it short, I confined myself to the essentials, leaving it to God to provide another more favorable opportunity. In my second account I have already described in detail the doubt which tormented me from June 13 until July 13, and how it disappeared completely during the apparition on that day. Well, the secret is made up of 3 distinct parts, 2 of which I am now going to reveal. The first part is the vision of hell. Our Lady showed us a great sea of fire which seemed to be under the earth. Plunged in this fire were demons and souls in human form, like transparent burning embers, all blackened or burnished bronze, floating about in the conflagration, now raised into the air by the flames that issued from within themselves together with great clouds of smoke, now falling back on every side like sparks in a huge fire, without weight or equilibrium, and amid shrieks and groans of pain and despair, which horrified us and made us tremble with fear. The demons could be distinguished by their terrifying and repulsive likeness to frightful and unknown animals, all black and transparent. This vision lasted but an instant. How can we ever be grateful enough to our kind Heavenly Mother, who had already prepared us by promising, in the first apparition, to take us to heaven? Otherwise, I think we would have died of fear and terror. We then looked up at Our Lady, who said to us so kindly and so sadly, "You have seen hell where the souls of poor sinners go. To save them, God wishes to establish in the world a devotion to my Immaculate Heart. If what I say to you is done, many souls will be saved and there will be peace. The war is going to end, but if people do not cease offending God, a worse one will break out during the pontificate of Pius XI. When you see a night illumined by an unknown light, know that this is the great sign given you by God that He is about to punish the world for its crimes, by means of war, famine, and persecutions of the Church and of the Holy Father. To prevent this, I shall come to ask for the consecration of Russia to my Immaculate Heart, and the communion of reparation on the first Saturdays. If my requests are heeded, Russia will be converted, and there will be peace. If not, she will spread her errors throughout the world, causing wars and persecutions of the Church. The good will be martyred, the Holy Father will have much to suffer, various nations will be annihilated. In the end, my Immaculate Heart will triumph. The Holy Father will consecrate Russia to me, and she shall be converted, and a period of peace will be granted to the world." The third part of the secret revealed by the Vatican in 2000. The third part of the secret was revealed at the Cova de Iria, Fatima, on July 13, 1917 to Sister Lucy. About this account she says, "I write in obedience to you, my God, who command me to do so through His Excellency the Bishop of Leiria and through your most holy Mother and mine." After the 2 parts which I have already explained, at the left of Our Lady and a little above, we saw an angel with a flaming sword in his left hand. Flashing, it gave out flames that looked as though they would set the world on fire, but they died out in contact with the splendor that Our Lady radiated towards him from her right hand. Pointing to the earth with his right hand, the angel cried out in a loud voice, "Penance! Penance! Penance!" And we saw in an immense light that is God, something similar to how people appear in a mirror when they pass in front of it. We saw a bishop dressed in white. We had the impression that it was the Holy Father. We also saw other bishops, priests, men, and women religious going up a steep mountain, at the top of which there was a big cross of rough-hewn trunks as of a cork tree with the bark. Before reaching there the Holy Father passed through a big city half in ruins and half trembling with halting steps, afflicted with pain and sorrow. He prayed for the souls of the corpses he met on his way. Having reached the top of the mountain, on his knees at the foot of the big cross he was killed by a group of soldiers who fired bullets and arrows at him. And in the same way there died, one after another the other, bishops, priests, men and women religious, and various lay people of different ranks and positions. Beneath the two arms of the cross there were two angels each with a crystal aspersorium in his hand, in which they gathered up the blood of the martyrs and with it sprinkled the souls that were making their way to God. The above is only part of the third secret of Our Lady of Fatima. The missing second part of the third secret of Fatima, not disclosed by the Vatican in 2000, was revealed in Sister Lucy's biography, which was published in 2010. This is an official publication from the convent of Coimbra, where Sister Lucia dos Santos, the last visionary of Fatima, lived and died in 2005. The published book is entitled Un Caminho sob o altar de Maria, A Path Under the Gaze of Mary. It is a biography of Sister Lucy, written by her fellow sisters, with precious previously unpublished documents from the same visionary. It reads, at around 4 p.m. on January 3, 1944, in the chapel of the convent, before the tabernacle, Lucia asked Jesus to make known his will. She said, I then felt a friendly hand, maternal and affectionate, touch my shoulder. And the Mother of God said to her, be at peace, and write what I have commanded you, but not, however, that which has been given to you to understand its meaning, intending to allude to the meaning of the vision which the Virgin herself had revealed. Immediately afterward, Sister Lucia said, I felt my spirit inundated by a mystery of light that is God, and in him I saw and heard. The point of a lance like a flame that is detached, touches the axis of the earth, and it trembles. And mountains, cities, towns, and villages with their inhabitants are buried. The seas, the rivers, the clouds, exceed their boundaries, inundating and dragging with them, in a vortex, houses and people in a number that cannot be counted. It is the purification of the world from the sin in which it is immersed. Hatred, ambition, provoke the destructive war. After I felt my racing heart, in my spirit a soft voice said, in time, one faith, one baptism, one church, holy, Catholic, apostolic. In eternity, heaven. This word heaven filled my heart with peace and happiness in such a way that almost without being aware of it, I kept repeating to myself for a long time, heaven, heaven. The following is Our Lady of Fatima's interpretation of the complete third secret, both visions, in May of 1994. 77 years after Our Lady first appeared to the three children at Fatima, Portugal, a French priest by the name of Raymond Arnett was listening to a CD entitled Mysterium Fide, with French lyrics and sung by French choirs. As he was listening devoutly, suddenly the music faded into the background and a clear voice, which was perceived quite normally and not as an interior inspiration, said, L'Église signera de toutes ses plaies, that is, the church will bleed from all her wounds. Then, there followed this text. There will be a wicked council planned and prepared that will change the countenance of the church. Many will lose the faith, confusion will reign everywhere. The sheep will search for their shepherds in vain. A schism will tear apart the holy tunic of my Son. This will be the end of times, foretold in the Holy Scriptures and recalled to memory by me in many places. The abomination of abominations will reach its peak and it will bring the chastisement announced at La Salette. My Son's arm, which I will not be able to hold back anymore, will punish this poor world, which must expiate its crimes. One will only speak about wars and revolutions. The elements of nature will be unchained and will cause anguish even among the best, the most courageous. The church will bleed from all her wounds. Happy are they who will persevere and search for refuge in my heart, because in the end my immaculate heart will triumph. After this message, Father Arnett only heard one more sentence. This is the third secret of Fatima. The following is an extract from the message from Our Lady of La Salette to one of the visionaries, Mélanie, which specifically speaks of the end times. The Most Holy Virgin spoke to me and gave me a secret in French. Here is the secret in its entirety as she gave it to me. Part 3. Our Lady says, Mélanie, what I am about to tell you now will not always be a secret. You may make it public in 1858. The priests, ministers of my Son, the priests, by their wicked lives, by their irreverence and their impiety in the celebration of the holy mysteries, by their love of money, their love of honors and pleasures, and the priests have become cesspools of impurity. Yes, the priests are asking vengeance, and vengeance is hanging over their heads. Woe to the priests and to those dedicated to God who by their unfaithfulness and their wicked lives are crucifying my Son again. The sins of those dedicated to God cry out towards heaven and call for vengeance, and now vengeance is at their door, for there is no one left to beg mercy and forgiveness for the people. There are no more generous souls, there is no one left worthy of offering a stainless sacrifice to the Eternal for the sake of the world. God will strike in an unprecedented way. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth! God will exhaust his wrath upon them, and no one will be able to escape so many afflictions together. The chiefs, the leaders of the people of God have neglected prayer and penance, and the devil has bedimmed their intelligence. They have become wandering stars which the old devil will drag along with his tail to make them perish. God will allow the old serpent to cause divisions among those who reign in every society and in every family. Physical and moral agonies will be suffered. God will abandon mankind to itself and will send punishments which will follow one after the other for more than 35 years. The society of men is on the eve of the most terrible scourges and of gravest events. Mankind must expect to be ruled with an iron rod and to drink from the chalice of the wrath of God. Italy will be punished for her ambition in wanting to shake off the yoke of the Lord of Lords. And so she will be left to fight a war, blood will flow on all sides. Churches will be locked up or desecrated. Priests and religious orders will be hunted down, and made to die a cruel death. Several will abandon the faith, and a great number of priests and members of religious orders will break away from the true religion. Among these people there will even be bishops. May the Pope guard against the performers of miracles. For the time has come when the most astonishing wonders will take place on the earth and in the air. Lucifer together with a large number of demons will be unloosed from hell. They will put an end to faith little by little, even in those dedicated to God. They will blind them in such a way, that, unless they are blessed with a special grace, these people will take on the spirit of these angels of hell. Several religious institutions will lose all faith and will lose many souls. Evil books will be abundant on earth, and the spirits of darkness will spread everywhere, a universal slackening of all that concerns the service of God. They will have great power over nature. There will be churches built to serve these spirits. People will be transported from one place to another by these evil spirits, even priests, for they will not have been guided by the good spirit of the gospel, which is a spirit of humility, charity, and zeal for the glory of God. On occasions, the dead and the righteous will be brought back to life. That is to say that these dead will take on the form of righteous souls which had lived on earth, in order to lead men further astray. These so-called resurrected dead, who will be nothing but the devil in this form, will preach another gospel contrary to that of the true Christ Jesus, denying the existence of heaven, that is also to say, the souls of the damned. All these souls will appear as if fixed to their bodies. Everywhere there will be extraordinary wonders, as true faith has faded and false light brightens the people. Woe to the princes of the church who think only of piling riches upon riches to protect their authority and dominate with pride. The vicar of my Son will suffer a great deal, because for a while the church will yield to large persecution, a time of darkness, and the church will witness a frightful crisis. The true faith to the Lord having been forgotten, each individual will want to be on his own and be superior to people of same identity. They will abolish civil rights as well as ecclesiastical. All order and all justice would be trampled underfoot, and only homicides, hate, jealousy, lies and dissension would be seen, without love for country or family. The Holy Father will suffer a great deal. I will be with him until the end and receive his sacrifice. The mischievous would attempt his life several times to do harm and shorten his days, but neither him nor his successor will see the triumph of the Church of God. All the civil governments will have one and the same plan, which will be to abolish and do away with every religious principle to make way for materialism, atheism, spiritualism, and vice of all kinds. There will be desecration of holy places. In convents, the flowers of the church will decompose, and the devil will make himself like the king of all hearts. May those in charge of religious communities be on their guard against the people they must receive, for the devil will resort to all his evil tricks to introduce sinners into religious orders, for disorder and the love of carnal pleasures will be spread all over the earth.